sidled silently down the corridors. Though most people were gathered at the game, and though no passers-by would see her even if she met any, she always took the chance to practice stealth and silence. It was a part of her job. One never knew when your powers might fail you, and natural sneakiness became needed. Finally stopping before one of the identical doors of the shadowy, silent hallway, she knocked, waiting. Her eyes fell upon the misty light streaming through one of the windows. A grayness clung to the deserted place, a deadness that would have seemed eerie if it weren't so sad. Not even the distant muffled cries of the hoverball game reached all the way up here. The softest footsteps thudded, and then the door opened slowly. "Tiffany." Dristann looked slightly taken aback. "Come in." She stepped inside, and he secured the door behind them. The room itself was filled with empty, mournful shadows created from the glow of the candles scattered about, illuminating the book spread open on the room's solitary bed. Sinking down on the edge and examining the book, she looked up and smiled. "Reading laws again, aren't we? Did I successfully get you hooked after all?" He nodded, casting her a small smile as he joined her on the edge of the bed. "The guys don't call you a girly wuss anymore?" He scowled. "Doesn't bother me, if that's the best insult they can come up with. Besides, I like Chryselda's story. It's sad, but it ends happily." "So can your story," she breathed. He glanced away, sighing deeply. "Can't we endure one visit without mentioning that?" "Sorry, it's just, I care, that's all. That's why I came to you before Aaron or Casimir or any other character. Because you drew me in. Because I felt compassion for you, wanted to help you, make your story better like theirs." "So mine does end badly. You admit it," he growled, biting his lip. "You know I can't tell you anything," she whispered, but her eyes glinted with torture. He needed no further reply. "Last month, a friend of mine. She was helping Frodo from Lord of the Rings. She fell in love with him, so she warned him of Gollum's treachery, trying to spare him pain. The council whipped her out of there immediately, stripped her of all powers until further notice. Perhaps she'll never travel again." "Well, at least we don't have to worry about that happening with me," he muttered. Tiffany glanced with a longing hurt in her eyes as his tall, proud shoulders slouched wearily. A great tiredness hung in those dark but beautiful, brooding eyes. "How are you here anyways?" he asked. "You know how much trouble you could get in for being in the boys' corridor. Especially with the boy," he added with a smirk, as if trying feebly to cheer himself up. "You know I have powers." She tried to smile herself. "Or at least you ought to by now. I can make it so that no one can see, hear, taste, smell, or touch me. No one but you." She glanced up at him hopefully, and for a moment his eyes lingered on hers, searching powerfully. She looked away. "Besides, I could ask why you're not at the game." "You should know by now I'm a solitary creature, by necessity and choice. I attend the daily rituals of class, meals, childish recess, but beyond that, more by necessity, I think." Ignoring the comment, he said, "Those hair clips are nice. They suit you." Glimpsing the elegant painting of the huge black butterfly hanging over his dresser, she said quietly, "I got them more because they suit you." So why aren't you at the game?" "I was, but I knew you'd be here, needing company. I don't need a book seeing to know everything. Besides, I don't care much for sports." He sighed, the dark shadows again masking his fair face as he muttered, "You're too nice, Tiffany. Too nice to hang around that Aaron anyways." "Aaron is nice," she retorted defensively. "Aaron is an arrogant pighead," he snarled, glaring at her. Well, she couldn't argue. It was true at times. Dristann nodded, satisfied. "But must you hate him? Must you hate him just because your aunt does?" "I must hate him because my aunt hates Casimira, because he associates himself with her, because he's meant to help her." "And you were meant to help your aunt." "Yes." "But you don't have—" "Drop it, please. Can't we just enjoy each other's company like we used to?" His eyes pleaded her, torment shining beyond their mask of spiteful hardness. She couldn't push him further, not today. Besides, she desired the same thing he seemed to. Nodding, she laid back on the bed, and he did too. For a long time she watched the orangish light and gray shadows dancing upon the canopy of the bed. Something soothing existed in their flowing, fluid movements. Something calming, though the heavy sadness could not be lifted entirely from her heart. Only he could take away that burden. After a while, she turned her head towards him. He slept, his face peaceful, the tortured eyes veiled, his mind lost in the sweet nothingness of dreams. With a slight smile, she sat up, kissed his cheek, and stole silently from the room.